All right, it did it. Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. Had a little bit of difficulty here with the Wi-Fi. Very excited on this Tuesday, this top of mind Tuesday, to be with Yvonne Sandoval from Leverage 365, and we're going to talk about 5 ways you can achieve top of mind status. How you keep top of mind, simple ways, or what did you say earlier? Wasn't achieve, it was
strategy.
Yes, very good. She said the words.
We're going to use.
So we're going to talk about that today. I'm very excited. Welcome, Yvonne. How's it going?
I'm awesome, Ted. I appreciate it that we have our Top of Mind Tuesday, and that we're going to be talking about strategies, or as President Bush had said, strategeries.
Strategeries. Remember that from Saturday Night Live or whatever that was?
You got to love Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. That's who it was. That's
right. He was great. So
yeah, we get a lot of, I get a lot of feedback on the Top of Mind Tuesdays. They love the little tips. You know, all of our attention spans, because we're doing 750 million things. It's nice to have 5 simple tips or 5 quick tips or 5 strategic tips to stay top of mind. So tell them just a little bit about you before we get into it, just those people who have never tuned in before.
Oh, wow. Well, if you just tuned in for the first time, thank you for joining us. I am Yvonne with Leverage 365. I have a firm that just works with real estate agents only to help them build top of mind status with their database of contacts. So making sure that the things that you're sending out are written specifically for you, and nothing generic, nothing that's going to blend with the others. We want you to stand out. The more you stand out, the more you'll achieve top of mind status. So it's a process. And you know what? Anything worth it is for your business is worth the time. So
agreed. And we have your website scrolling across the bottom there. All right, let's bring on the screen, shall we?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's take a look.
Woo! Top of mind, 5 simple ways to stay top of mind with your database. All right, let me make this full screen and switch to the next screen.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I didn't go too crazy with the slides. They're just going to be talking points. Basically, you know, strategy number 1, and this goes for anything in your business. I had a meeting last night with an agent, and you know what? She was all over the place. And strategy 1 is what we have to implore. Clarify your objectives to ensure your information meets the mark. So we were coming up with a campaign, in this case, a postcard campaign to, let her prior clients know that, I'm here. Without going into too much, because I kind of want to keep it proprietary, came up with some really great ideas. But the problem is that, before I could start to build this campaign, I needed to know and clarify what were her goals. You can't just go willy-nilly and say, this is a great idea. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. Oh wow, this is so different.
Right.
But all of these ideas have to be reined in and put into a goal, and kind of a 1-3-5 way of thinking. And the 1-3-5 is the goal. Knowing your goal is probably more than half the battle, and then having the 3 priorities to reach that goal, and then having 5 strategies that will get you to that goal. So today we're dealing with the 1-3-5. We're doing the 5 strategy part.
I love it.
Yeah, so we can talk about a 1-3-5 in another show, but really the strategy part here is really the most important part of building your business plan or a 1-3-5. So yeah, making sure you know what your goal is. So before you start building a campaign out, or whether it's a social media campaign or a postcard campaign or an email campaign, you have to think about what is the goal, and then you build around that. So strategy.
So on what is the goal, I think is really critical, because I don't think most people stop to really ever take note of that or really think about it. They've got this they have the end in mind, but they have no idea how to get there or set the goals to get there. It's not easy for people to come up with what's your strategy. I asked somebody live once. I thought it would be an easy question. Hey, why are you doing this? And they look like a deer in headlights.
Wow.
I recovered quickly for them. And then afterwards, they're like, man, I really need to think about this. Like, apparently you do. Why are you doing what you're doing if you don't even know the why? How is this even happening?
Well, and that was when we did our Simon Sinek piece, which was all about knowing knowing your why before your how. A lot of people communicate their how all the time, and that how is really not as interesting as the why. And a lot of things I'm seeing now, a lot of advertising on Facebook, because I'm in marketing, they're advertising to me. And they're like, oh, email marketing with storytelling. Storytelling is where it's at. And I'm like, you know what? I've been doing this way longer than you guys. This is not breaking news. Your entire, way of strategizing to build relationships is through story. So, a lot of people are just jumping on the boat a little late. You know what? If it's going to bolt right in, go ahead. Keep putting your ads out there, boys. But yeah,
That's right. All right, let me find two. Sorry about that.
No worries.
I got us off topic as usual.
No, it's good. This is what I love. Strategy 2 of your 5 is staying in touch by mixing and matching the formats and the frequency. This is all about how you're contacting people and how often you contact them. So, having a strategy, and this is, goes back to the story of the eggs in one basket. That is a lot of people. And like I said, even when I met with the agent last night, the person was talking about this campaign. It was going to be in a direct mail format. And I said, well, what are you doing with email? What are you doing with social media? What are you doing with your, face-to-face? What are you doing with your phone calls? The other modes, what's your website looking like? How does it all, touch the people that you've previously worked with? And that was something that, is a concern, because the strategy is, yes, stay in touch. But if I hear something like, well, I've been doing text messages, I've been getting around to it, or put it this way, there was no rhyme and reason. So yeah, you need to have, number one, like we said, having your objective. But number 2 is when you are deciding on putting this into play, you have to mix and match the formats. Having multiple modes of communication is going to keep you top of mind, because you may not. Is
that like Facebook and website, or Facebook, Instagram, and website? Tell them what you mean. Like, what formats are you referring to? You probably already said it, but just somebody had a question.
The formats are, your emails are a format of reaching out. It's a communication method. You have, in other industries, we have, television would be in there, and radio would be in there. Billboards would be part of the communication. But in our industry of real estate, we primarily are dealt that we are given a CRM that has the ability to send out emails. We have the ability to do direct mail postcards. We have the ability to do text messaging or instant messaging with, through direct messaging with Facebook. So those are the different platforms, and your website has got to communicate at the highest levels about you, who you are, and knowing how you are in the community, how your expertise. The websites that you have now in this industry predominantly bolster the brokerage, not the brokerage as much as the brand of the brokerage, because each brokerage is independently owned and operated. But the national brand that you're working for, or even if you're working for a boutique, you have to set yourself apart from the other agents by communicating your expertise and your mission, your vision, your value, and purpose. So multiple modes is all of those: website, email, direct mail, text messaging. Anyway, skywriting,
Skywriting's a new one.
Airplane.
Smoke signals, whatever it takes.
Well, I actually did see a realtor doing pulling the banner behind a plane. I saw a realtor ad over Orlando, over the city of Orlando. Yep.
Somebody's tuning in from the Maldives.
Oh,
Hello.
I heard
Maldives sounds real nice right now.
must be.
Thanks for joining us. I love it. All right, strategy 3.
Yeah, strategy 3 is provide this. Now you've got your goal. You acknowledge the platforms that you're going to be using, multiple modes, and now what the heck am I going to send to these people? Strategy 3 is provide everyday useful and beneficial information. You see the word every day? The images, people are having an everyday life. They're playing with their kids, they're hanging out. This is what life's about. It's not about the buying and the selling of properties. For your consumers and yourself, what's going to change my Tuesday? What's going to make my Tuesday better? What's going to make my week better? What's going to make my month better? What's going to make my family life better? What's going to make my downtime better? These are the kinds of information that they need to receive from you that would help them in their everyday lives. So that'll keep you top of mind because on a daily basis, we do many things. We get up in the morning, we brush our teeth, we have breakfast, we check our emails, we go to the gym. There's things we do. We can go shopping, we go to work.
Now you're talking.
So there's things going on in a person's everyday life that if you provide them with valuable information that will help them to have a better day, then that will keep you top of mind. So the kind of things that I see going out, a lot of it's only providing something that's related to a home sale or a home purchase. And yes, you are in real estate, and that is great, but pepper it with majority of everyday useful and beneficial information rather than just one track real estate, because that person's not every day, not in everybody's life, even in yours in real estate, is it all about buying and selling properties.
No, and it's not about, if you want it, you should be proud of your accomplishments. But I feel like people take it to the next level. And everything's about how amazing they are and the amazing people they hang out with. And don't I look amazing? And oh my God, I'm amazing this and amazing that. And look, I love that word too, like anybody else, but it doesn't feel human. I'm like, okay, where's the weakness? Where's the vulnerability? Where's the everyday? Where's the you looking dirty out in the yard and da da da? I mean, there's got to be a better way than just talking about how amazing your circle is, how amazing the events you go to, and I just sold my 95th house this month. All right, so you're a superhuman, but what do we know about you? Except that you never sleep, apparently.
Well, yeah,
I'm a big proponent of that. The everyday, how people feel.
It was Simon Sinek, who basically, if I paraphrase him, is showing your success without showing your struggles, it doesn't resonate. So
yes, that is powerful. I got to find that.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up for you. He's basically, and the mindset is that these people. I see a lot of people in this industry putting out there, all these great things, which is fantastic. But the thing is that we don't know what your struggle was to get to that point. And I like Wendy Stewart's always a person who's so genuine and authentic, and she always puts out there like stuff that you would be. It's super personal, but she's telling you where she was at one point in her life to where she is today, because she can appreciate it, and she's hoping that others will see that it can happen, and she's being a role model, a beacon for others. And I love that about her. Her vulnerability is amazing, and that resonates at such a high level with people. So, take a page from Wendy Stewart. And
fantastic job.
Yeah, she's amazing. So strategy number 4 is make time to regularly stay in touch with prospects and clients. So I know it kind of sounds like that. It's like kind of a duh. But it's not really that.
I mean, that's what I thought. But then I thought, well, yeah, do I do it the best I can? No, I don't.
Well, this is the thing, is that it's taking the time. I know somebody that I work with, and that person's always saying, well, how did you get the 4 appointments this week? And I'm like, well, I got 4 appointments because I took the time to stay in touch with them, and I did it in with a consistent manner. So, maybe I'm going to reach out to them every 7 days, in different modes. I'll do an email, I'll do a text message, I'll do a Facebook instant message, or, so there's going to be different ways, but I take the time, and that's really that's my secret formula, is that I take the time to stay in touch with people,
Yeah.
and to reach out to them about, to follow up. And I know that the thing that I do is going to help them have a better business. So I never really feel ever that I'm bothering someone. And I know that a lot of real estate agents say that, I don't want to bother people, and I don't want to inundate them with reaching out to them in different ways, and it's too many times or whatever. You know what? That's your problem, and your mindset has to change, because
Yes.
I know, and I know that you do too, that you real estate agents out there, you are providing such a necessary service, and I am too. My service is necessary because I'm doing everything that I'm talking about. I'm doing it for the agent. So I know that I'm an essential part of a business, but you are an essential part of helping a family find a property that they can get into, they can afford, that they're going to love, that they're going to be living in. You need to not think about yourself as I don't want to bother people. So
I agree.
taking that time is super important, and it's not a dumb thing.
And I also want to, I don't know what number 5 is, so if I'm jumping ahead, tell me. But the keeping in touch is not, hey, Yvonne, here's my latest listing. I mean, if we're talking real estate, there has to be some real authentic, I care about you, let me stay in touch with you. It can't be shoving your business down their throat 24/7. And it's not just real estate, people, trust me. It's every industry. My industry is the exact same. We shove all of the rates down your throat, da 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 da. And I think as a whole, that does not resonate, one of my favorite words, with human beings.
Yeah, there's certain things that people out there that it's harder to get through to, like when it comes to the idea of staying in touch, and staying in touch with a genuine and authenticness. I was trying to set an appointment. I was working through from one of my clients. I was working through their assistant, and I said I need to set an appointment because I need to do my interview, because I write everything from scratch for that agent from an interview, and an interview is going to get personal. It's going to get in depth. It's going to go places that you may not even expect. So instead of setting the appointment, the person came back to me and said, "Oh no, you don't need to talk to that person, because you already know their business strategy, and their business strategy has not changed." And I'm like, "What? I'm not calling them to like talk about strategy about their business and their goals. I'm calling because I need to know more about them, as like what's been going on in your life over the past year. What's your passions? Where is your mind? What do you want to share of yourself with your audience?" So the person wasn't getting it. Like, so that's the thing, is like, I think in this business, everything kind of goes to, can get corporate if you allow it.
Agreed.
But we need to get out of that and just be like Wendy, and just be open, and that will pour into others. And that's what I believe when you
because if she shares her outcome, let's say she said, just help the family, and then another person says the same thing, because Wendy usually words it with, I'm so grateful to be able to thank this, or to help this family. I'm so thankful. I'm so happy about, instead of just saying, we help this family move. Can we help you too? There's just no feeling in that. And I don't want to, I'd be afraid to do business with somebody who's that cold, or appears to be that cold.
And the truth of the matter is, for some people that will resonate, that they themselves are of that kind of.
You're absolutely right.
Standoffish and such. But for the majority of people, when they're going through the largest transaction of their lives, it is a boiling, like a boiler of emotion, and we need to let people know that I'm going to be there for you. That kind of like the counselor effect that agents are, that they don't know that they're going to be a counselor. It's not on the state exam to get licensed. It's not. It's such a big important part of what you do. So yeah. Oh, and strategy 5. I know this sounds kind of strange, but be active and creative. So being active means that you're engaged, you are plugged in, you are a feeling human being, and you allow the feelings to happen. Because if you don't and you're not actively present, then you can't be grateful, you can't acknowledge, you can't. So, this is a psychological part of marketing that a lot of the creative people generally, if we're generalizing, we're empaths, we just feel things at a higher level. Not better. I'm not saying better. I'm saying the frequency for us is just louder.
Yes, much.
But that doesn't mean better. It just means louder. And sometimes that loudness needs to be toned down or reined in. But creativity comes from that. So being active will create your creativity. It'll ignite that creativity, because your campaign has got to be different. It's going to have formula to it, because formula works, but there's going to be parts of it that can absolutely just be outside the box. I know there's an agent right now, I'm not going to name his name, but he's doing some really cute creative things where he's got a king, he puts on like a king crown on his head. I think you might know who I'm talking about. And he calls himself like the king of something. Oh my God, I wish I'd written it down.
Oh, I can't think of what it is.
Yeah, I know I've met him several times. He's come to my classes. But he's going in that direction. It's very creative. It's very different, and it won't resonate with everyone. But he's doing videos now, and like I said, I met him in class like 2 years ago, and it's amazing how people, when they let themselves go and they're not fearful, they get creative, and I love it.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I think it's great. Absolutely. So, and then this is just a slide just to let you know. This kind of sums up knowing that when people are talking to their database, your database is in the palm of your hand. Your whole world these days is in the palm of your hand. And the things that if you could take this down and execute these over the next few days, you will change your business. The exporting of your contacts from all sources. So, if you haven't thought of downloading or exporting your contacts from your Gmail account or Yahoo or whatever you're using, then you're missing out on a ton of email addresses. If you haven't exported your Facebook contacts, which some of them actually do have their email addresses in there because they didn't, they opted to keep it in. Your LinkedIn account, if you haven't gone and downloaded that LinkedIn contacts, you need to do that. If you don't know how to do it, Ted, tell them how to do it.
Oh my God, it's so easy. Hold on, let me remove that.
Ted, it's one word. Starts with a G.
Google.
Mm-hmm. That's how you do it.
You can't. It's amazing what you can do if you Google it. It really is, and it's all there for us. That's the funny part. And and Google actually is smart, guys. So if you type it in the exact way you're thinking, how in the world do I download my freaking contacts from LinkedIn? I guarantee you Google's going to tell you exactly how to do it. So don't think you have to come up with the right keywords. Just give them the sentence and the thought. And
just give them the sentence. So that's one of the things that you can do. And my new line is that you need to be like the Corleone family. And you need to import, export. That's what when someone asks you what you do, I do import, export. Import contacts and export. That's what your job.
I love it.
And once you do that, you got the business. Okay, that's you're setting yourself up. You're really raring to go. And then when you import them into the platform, whether it's the thing that you were given by your broker, or it's just into a compliant email platform, say like Constant Contact or MailChimp or MailerLite or any of those platforms that are out there. Now you're cooking with gas, as they used to say in the 1900s. Now I'm into gangster mode. So that's what I'm saying. These are the things that you can absolutely do today with it. Google it. Take 10 minutes. Set aside the time. Remember, That's the secret formula. Is that I set some time aside to build my business. And then the other thing, let's see what's on there because I don't have it in front of me.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's thanking. It's appreciation.
Okay, consistently communicating over multiple modes. This is what we talked about earlier. Appreciate the reach of those you know. Now, that's a big deal too because people don't appreciate the fact that the person in front of them, they're treating them like they're just one person. And when I say the person in front of you, whether it's in person or through an email or through a text message, you could be text messaging someone and there's people sitting next to them. Say they're in Panera, they're having lunch, and they get a text message from you. If that text message is something relevant, something that's going to spark a conversation, 4 other people sitting there at lunch are going to hear about that text message.
That's right.
So one person never equals one person. Okay, it's the thing you put out into the world is literally the world. So I was just talking to my friend this morning about how she reconnected with somebody from 2nd grade. He opened up a business, and now it's amazing how people from 2nd grade, she found him through Facebook again. They reunited, and now she's helping him build his business. These are the kinds of things. The world is so small.
Agreed.
So understand that when you talk to one person, you are affecting many people's lives. So that's a good thing for you if you're in real estate.
If your message is right.
If the message is right. And the last thing is that this is long term. The strategies that we talked about today, this is not how to build your business in 9 minutes and make $1 million by the end of the week. So those get quick rich schemes and all that stuff that we all know don't work. But there's plenty of them out there. You know what? You have to be in it for the long term and the long haul.
Yes.
It's amazing how when you used to work, many of my real estate agents, they didn't go into real estate out of high school. They worked a job, and then then they became the independent real estate agents. But the truth is that you had no problem working long term for the promise of another employer for their business, building their business day in and day out, 9 to 5. And then when it came to you, when you went into business for yourself, you wanted it overnight.
Overnight.
So, right? So, if you worked with a firm for 10 years or 9 years or 25 years, what's to say, why would you expect when you start your own business that that's going to be an overnight and I'm going to make as much money as I made, like with that company over 25 years, So put it this way, invest in yourself, know that there is a method, there is a formula, having to set aside the time, having the goal, and having these strategies which will affect the goal. It will happen. And if you need help, Leverage 365 is here to make it all happen.
Woo. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Yvonne, that was awesome. You got lots of love on all the platforms.
Oh, thank you.
You guys come back to us next Tuesday, but reach out to Yvonne, getleverage365.com or, anywhere on social media. Thank you so much. That was amazing. Loved it. See, top of mind. It gets me motivated. Makes me think about what I'm doing right and what I'm not doing.